It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another broadcast here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, it is our mission to try to bring you some news you could use. Today will be no exception to that rule. You can follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And don't forget to visit the website obnradio.com for our 24-hour stream. With all that being established, let us jump into this week's episode of The Zone. We got a lot in store for you on today. We are going to hear from Coach Lindsay as the Panthers started off officially the 2023 volleyball campaign, a couple of exhibition games as they get ready. They're actually going to be having a alumni volleyball game scheduled later for today, and we'll hear from Coach Abe Garcia. Man, they started out on Friday night against Sam Houston, had a pretty good start, but it didn't end quite the way they wanted it to land. We're going to hear updates about the new athletic director, Mr. Anton Goff from Prairie View, as he has had his contract aired out, so you'll kind of get a feel for where he is on that. And we are going to talk about our projected standings for the 2023 football campaign. So, as we mentioned, let us go right into this. Miss Cherie Lindsay, the newly hired volleyball coach for Prairie View, was able to see some good things with the exhibition as the Panthers took on Houston Tillerson and Philander Smith programs, and they were playing on the campus of Prairie View as the students have gotten acclimated in, and everybody is good and ready to go. So the Panthers looking strong, getting ready to take care of business as they have some tournaments coming up within the next weekend, and they'll be officially on track for this 2023 campaign. We'll now hear from Coach Lindsay as she was able to give some reflections on what she saw in the development process for the Lady Panthers.
We're now joined by Coach Cherie Lindsay, head volleyball coach of Prairie View A&M University. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, look, we finally saw some live ammunition, even though it was exhibition. It was someone other than your own squad going off against each other. Let us know how things worked out for you guys with your doubleheader on Friday.
Yeah, we played a couple teams on Friday, and it went exactly how I wanted it to go. I wanted to see them adapt to the pace of the game. We've been playing against each other, so our pace is a little bit faster than what we played on Friday. So it was good to see them kind of adapt to the pace and still play at a high level instead of, playing at that slower pace on our side of the net. So I saw a lot of really good things. We put a lot of different lineups out there. So we definitely have a lot of depth on the team. So that's a really good problem to have as a coach. So I'm excited for next week on the 25th.
Right. Next week on the 25th is, if I'm not mistaken, that's Arkansas State, correct?
No, so we play Tarleton first and then Arkansas State. So we're going to play 3 games in that tournament up at Tarleton.
Okay, so when I look at the calendar, so if you could bring us up to speed. I know you usually start off with a tournament, and forgive me, I was thinking that this Friday was a tournament, and technically it was more like a round-robin exhibition. But if you would, prepare us for the tournament coming up this week.
Yeah, so this past Friday we just did a exhibition, played 3 sets. It wasn't anything super official, but next week we'll actually start season play, like our actual countable games start next week, and so we'll play actually 4 weekends of tournament. So the first month of volleyball we're on the road at tournaments. So the first tournament will be at Tarleton, and then I want to say we go to Houston Christian, and then from there it's Corpus Christi, and then we go to Louisiana. So we'll play 3 games in all of those tournaments. So we'll play a lot of games in the first couple of weeks, and then right after that we have a week, and then we get right into conference play. So we're really excited. I feel like we got a good amount of really good competition, and then competition that, will be about the same as us as far as RPI goes. So it should be a really good start of the preseason, and just seeing what they can do. And under a new system, we have a lot of young players, which is awesome. But it's also like, you have to expect those young players to make those type of young player errors, but you also have to give them the space to be able to do that, so they can grow as athletes. So I'm excited to see what we come up with this preseason.
When you talk about the growth and everything, and with that growth comes adjusting to the speed, and you probably had a slight advantage with this recent, I'm calling it a round robin, so forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn on that. But as you start playing the Tarleton's, the Arkansas States, the Louisiana schools, you anticipate an increase of gameplay, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the level of play is going to for sure go up, and that's what we look forward to. I mean, that's the level that we've been playing at in practice, which, again, is why I was super impressed with them for being able to kind of adapt to the speed of the game while still doing our speed, but not changing our speed or changing our play to the way that the other team was playing. And so, when we come up against these other teams, it should be a really good competition, and hopefully we'll get some dubs out of it for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Now, it's always on paper, this is how you expect your rotation to go. Are things still holding true to form after this exhibition, or are you possibly looking at other combinations? And it's always good, I guess, to have multiple combinations, because you never know what the situation will come during the course of the season.
Oh man, I mean, as soon as I feel like I have a lineup, somebody does something, and I'm like, well, okay, here we go, let's try it this way. And that just speaks to the depth that we have. We have a lot of really great athletes that are ready to play and ready to push each other. That's something that we teach them with my mindset training model that we've kind of put in place for them. We want healthy competition. Every single day is a competition. And so while we want to push each other, you're still trying to earn a spot, and you'll get that opportunity. If you keep chugging away at it, even if you're not in the starting lineup. So it's a lot of good stuff that I see in practice. It's, they banter a lot. This is a SWAC, but it's also in my personality as a coach. I want you to talk a little smack. I want you to, feel the need to prove that you deserve to be over there without it, without the negativity and the nonsense that it comes with sometimes when players are going at each other. So it's been a really fun environment as far as practice is going. They're really, really loud. We have a very loud team, and they're very energetic. That was one thing that a lot of people said after our scrimmage, was they have a lot of energy from the bench to the team on the court. And that's just kind of been the stanza everywhere that I've gone. I don't know if it's the coaching style or if it's just the expectations, but they have a lot of energy, and so I love it. So it gets us going, and we'll see what we can come up with.
Yes, ma'am. That energy is always needed on any level, but especially at college play. And it almost gives you a slight increase of intimidation sometimes, Coach. So they keep it coming, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, every volleyball team has gone against a team that just has, unmatched energy, and those are the hardest teams to play against. And I'm convinced that at my old school that our energy won us probably 60% of our games, because we just never stopped. It didn't matter if we were down. There was actually a game we were down 2-11, and we came back and we ended up winning that set because of our energy. And so those are the most frustrating teams to play against. And then I think the plus about the team that we currently have is that not only do they have the energy, but they have the skill set to match it, and then they're also playing really, really good defense. So when you have a team that has really good defense and they're really loud and nothing hits the ground, those are the most frustrating teams to play against as a volleyball player, and I have that team right now. So as long as we can continue to feed on that, I think that we're going to frustrate a lot of people.
Oh, man, that's exciting to hear. Now, Coach, we know that there's a balance of home and visiting games that you have throughout the course of conference play in particular. And for those who are listening that might not be aware, because it's all about promotions, right? Normally, if I'm not mistaken, I know Sundays and was it Fridays or Sundays and Mondays that you normally play your conference games?
So we'll be playing Sunday, Monday. So Sunday games are usually around 3 o'clock, and that's pretty across the board as far as conference goes. I know some teams are going to be playing at 1. And then Mondays are usually 6 o'clock games. So hopefully on those games when, nothing else is really going on, we can get a pretty good turnout for our games.
Okay. Well, look, we're looking so forward to these updates and reports, and I hope you keep that energy flowing, and we make this, as they say, a weekly event.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
All right. Coach Lindsay of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers getting out the gate running hard, and more to come here throughout the 2023 season. And, Coach, it's official, man. The games have begun, and we're wishing you nothing but luck, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, and we look forward to seeing y'all at some games.
All right, then. Coach Lindsay of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers will be right back with more of today's episode.
Now, the Panthers will next be in action on August 25th as they'll take on Tarleton. And, of course, we'll give you updates and reports on the development for the Panthers as they get ready for this 2023 campaign. Now, on the soccer side of things, we had a very, very up and down situation as the Panthers took on the now Conference USA opponents, Sam Houston, and it was somewhat of a battle within the battle. Coach Cavello, who is now at Sam Houston, formerly at Prairie View, who actually replaced Abe Garcia, who has returned to lead the Panthers, and they met in Huntsville, and the Panthers had a 2-0 lead at the half. But then in the second half, there was a 20-minute lapse, and I'll let Coach Garcia tell you the rest. As you heard, the Panthers will next be in action on Sunday as they take on Incarnate Word from San Antonio, Texas. And we'll be hearing from Coach Garcia as he will give us a recap of the Panthers being on the road for this 2023 start of the soccer season.
Start off the game well. 2-0. We held it about 70 minutes or so. We had some, questionable calls that kind of helped change the momentum. Got a PK call in the box that, I thought was questionable. And then that helped kind of get the crowd in, shifted a little bit of the momentum for us. For them, then they had another foul. They scored off of that. But the girls kept fighting. I think that's the best thing I saw. There was a lot of positives we saw tonight. I think also depth hurt us a little bit, but you compare us to them, they're rotating players through, in this heat. It really takes a big toll, but overall, the players got minutes and time in, and like I said, there's a lot of positives out of tonight. I saw a team that wants to fight, that's willing to fight. And, we fought to the end trying to get a goal. Their spirits were high, and even after they came off, you could tell they had worked hard. They were emotional about after the game, and you could tell it means a lot to them. So that's good to have on a team that passion for playing.
Yes, sir. And one thing about being young, they have a short attention span, man, and they have to get this behind them, learn from it, grow from it. You got another tall order. You now be going to San Antonio to take on Incarnate Word.
Yes, that's going to be a tough game. I think UIW, if I'm mistaken, just came off win with Rice. It's hard. It's a hard game to play at their stadium. It's a turf stadium, and again, and this record heat that we're having right now, it might be 100 degrees, but on the field it's a different index, right? So I recall the last time we went there, it was miserable. Cleats were falling off and melting, and it was just uncomfortable feeling. It's going to be a very tough game just because of those, those natural temperatures of the field that we are not accustomed to. And again, if it was up to me, I wish we played on a different type of field. Right.
Right. Now, of course, this is going to be more of a mental game in condition with the heat, and then just actually being out there physical and during the 90 minutes of play. What and how do you prepare your team to try to overcome those elements that will be present?
It's a mental thing, like you said. I mean, it's you can't let that break you down. Obviously, tomorrow, like even tonight, we've already started talking about, hey, learn from our mistakes that we had this game, and now it's preparing for Sunday. And, just getting them to believe in themselves, getting them to trust themselves. And, like I said, there were a lot of positive stuff that we got out of this game, and I think our confidence level is high, which, we'll play a role Sunday. So I think now they know that, hey, we could compete, we could play with these teams. And again, this is the team that got put together 2 months ago. And we've only had 2 weeks of training. So we've come a long way as far as tonight, But yeah, I mean, we're going to try to prepare them as best as we can.
As we continue to move forward for this kickoff of the football season for 2023 throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference, we want to remind you guys to mark your calendar for September 1st through the 4th will be our popcorn fundraising, where you can help us raise some necessary funding to help us carry out our 2023 broadcast schedule. Don't forget, go to the website. You'll see the pop-up store link, obnradio.com, and help us with some delicious popcorn. Then might I add gourmet popcorn to electrify your taste buds. September 1st through the 4th, starting at 12 noon. Go to that website, obnradio.com. We are officially 14 days away from the 38th Annual Labor Day Classic between the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Texas Southern Tigers from Houston, Texas. You can listen to that game live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network by going to that website, obnradio.com, or dialing in wherever you may be at 857-777-0000. We are looking forward to our 2023 broadcast schedule for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and our local high school teams. The Waller Bulldogs, they'll kick off on August 25th, 7 p.m. as they'll take on Bryan from Waller ISD Stadium. You can catch that game live 7 p.m. by doing the same thing. Going to the website, click on the Listen Live link, or by dialing 857-777-0000. And, of course, on the 1st of September, which will be that Friday, we'll have Royal and Hempstead games debuted throughout the Open Mic Broadcast Network. So be sure to strap in and join us as we bring you football action all throughout Waller County and beyond. As we continue to roll right along here on the Zone, we had one heck of a week. JSU, the I Love JSU, as I was corrected, had some bones to pick with me on our projections of where we thought JSU will be standing at the end of the season. And we're going to break down our projections throughout the East and the West of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We also even gave a reference to who we felt were our top fan bases from 1 to 12 throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And what we will do is remind you in this manner. We had number 1, Southern University. Number 2, FAMU. Number 3, Jackson State. Number 4 was Grambling. Number 5 was Alcorn. Number 6 was Alabama State. Number 7 was Prairie View. Number 8 was Alabama A&M. Number 9 was Texas Southern. Number 10 was Bethune-Cookman. Number 11 was University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. And number 12 was Mississippi Valley State. Now, of course, we based that on fan participation, not counting classic games or homecoming. So that's how we came up with that list. And be sure to send in your tidbits on how you feel about that list. Now it's time for the nitty-gritty. We're about to break down the projections on how we see things ending up throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference football season for 2023. And we might as well start from the top and work our way down. In the East, we got FAMU winning the East, going 10-1. We have second place Alabama State with a 7-4 record. We have third place Alabama A&M with a 6-5 record. We have fourth place Jackson State with a 5-6 record. We have the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils coming in at 3-8, and Bethune-Cookman coming in at 3-8. Over on the west side of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, we have Alcorn 9-2, Southern University 8-3, Prairie View 8-3, Texas Southern 7-4, Grambling State 5-6, and University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff 3-8. And I know some of you will disagree with how we're seeing things, but that's the beauty of sports talk. We try to be fair and balanced with our projections and reporting. I'm always going to be rooting for Prairie View, but the way I see things shaping up, that West is going to be a gauntlet, and it's going to be a lot of flipping in and out, up and down, and the true head-to-head competitions are going to be against Alcorn, Southern, Prairie View, Texas Southern, and yes, even the Grambling State Tigers. So it's going to be a roller coaster ride, and we can't wait to see how this thing unfolds here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And coming back to the heel, of course, we know that Anton Goff was announced last week. The ink has dried on his contract, and we know that he's going to have a 4-year window of opportunity. His base salary will be $230,000 plus a bunch of incentives that could boost that up rather handsomely, and the era has now begun. Of course, Mr. Anton Goff will be on campus officially August the 28th, and of course he will hit the ground running. And what I'm intrigued to see is that he will have a incentive on, if he could raise $1 million, he will get an additional $20,000 bonus. And that's always the intriguing piece for me, because in times past, whether it was clearly understood or explained, the athletic directors have not realized the importance, and I won't say realize, but they have not put a lot of emphasis on fundraising other than guarantee games. But there's more to fundraising than just guarantee games, and it's really when it's going to take the community outreach to come into a whole new realm of activity, and can't wait to see Mr. Goff's approach in that area. This week we also heard from Coach Heish Northern, our football college analyst here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And man, another great session, some intel and information that you couldn't get otherwise. And that's part of our mission here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, to educate you, inform you, as well as entertain you. We like to refer to it as the gift that keeps on giving. So be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and that way you're updated on all of the latest release by way of the network. And for those who would like to get a little bit deeper content, always click on that 24-hour listen stream, and you can get everything and beyond, and that is at the website of obnradio.com. We want to thank our guests for joining in with us, volleyball coach Cherie Lindsay and the soccer coach, Mr. Abe Garcia. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We have come to the point now where I must exit stage left. We are so excited for what's lying ahead here in the fall. Don't forget, we got a plethora of interviews and program content for your listening pleasure. So be sure to follow me on X at The Mike Prince Show and subscribe to that YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I've got to exit stage left for right now. My time is far spent. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.